Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of The Grid. My name is Scott Kelby, but that's not important because today we have a man who is unlike any other man.
Who's that?
You.
Oh, me.
Yes,
Hello.
Dave. The awesome Dave Clayton is here with us. Dave, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
This is your first time on the new set.
It is, yeah. It's my second appearance, you know.
Very, very exciting. Well, you guys, we talk about Dave all the time on the Grid here on the show.
It's much appreciated.
And so you'll be hearing us talking. Oh, look, Dave Clayton's here. Dave's watching, and also, of course, it's such an honor to have him. And I always say the same thing about Dave, and I've written it in one of my books. He's one of the best guys on the planet, and it is true. Very glad to have you here, buddy.
Thanks.
And we just wrapped up a week at Photoshop World where you taught.
Yes,
and
I
you
did.
rocked the house.
I loved every second.
And I even learned tips before I went on stage, some of which we just shared in a private members only Kelby One thing.
And what a lot of people didn't realise, Photoshop World was the second and third time I got up on stage and
that's right.
taught. The first time was Photoshop World last year.
That's right. And now look at you. You're blossoming like a phoenix, rising from the whatever phoenixes rise from. And we're very glad to have you here. We had a wonderful week at Photoshop World. Met so many great people. Can I tell you some people that we met? Fernando. And look, we give a shout out to Fernando. Can we go to the jib shot real quick? Because I want to be able to show. Because we got a special shout out to Fernando. We have the Portuguese flag behind us hanging on the set there. He presented me with that flag. We invited all the folks that are kind of regulars like Fran Hughes and Artist First and everybody to come to a taping of The Grid that we did live from Photoshop World. And Fernando was kind enough to bring me that flag. So I wanted to honor him and Portugal by hanging it on the set today. We put up very carefully. And there it is back in the back there. So there it is, rocking the house, little awesome gift from Fernando. Thank you very much. We love it and appreciate it. It was so great getting to meet so many people that we, like Fran Hughes.
Yes.
Fran Hughes was there.
Yeah.
First time. We had a great time with her. Bob from Boston didn't make it. He says, hola from Boston. By the way, Bob, everybody else from Boston was there. Deb was there. John was there.
Mark Wahlberg,
Donnie Wahlberg, all the Wahlbergs, Ted, everybody was there. But anyway, we had a wonderful time. Hey, what I would like to do rather than drone on and on about Photoshop World is at the end of Photoshop World, we do this wrap up. We do the Guru Awards, and we show a very little short recap video. So I'd like to show that if I could for you. This was put together by Leighton, who was one of our very, very talented designers. So they shot the video while it was happening. And on the last day, they actually show video from that day. He compiles it all together, does the whole thing, and then literally edits and shows it the same day.
How they do that?
It's a tremendous amount of video shot over many days. And so anyway, it was all compiled by him. It was shot by numerous people.
Yeah.
But I'd like to just show it to you real quick. It's a real quick little video, but it'll give you a really great idea of what it was like being at Photoshop World. So rather than talking about it, blah, 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 here, take a look, and I hope you enjoy. I even saw you in there.
I was in there for a microsecond.
No, you were there twice in there.
Yeah.
You were there. So it was lovely. Anyway, thanks to everybody that came out. We had such a great time. Hey, Kirsten is saying, Photoshop World was in all caps, and I mentioned this in all caps. Incredible. I can't wait for next year. Steven says, I truly enjoyed my first Photoshop World. All right.
There were a lot of people there.
Yeah, Damien says
First-timers.
Photoshop World 2017 was amazing. It was, I got to tell you, I mean, we always try to do a great job. Like, we always try to, like, get the best instructors and plan all kinds of cool stuff. But the people that came this year were so ready to learn and so engaged. It was such a friendly, it was like, you talk about playing to your home crowd. Everybody was so much fun there. Everybody was in such a great mood, and it was such a great vibe. The very first day we're there, a woman's walking with me to one of my classes. She goes, there's just such a great vibe here, and it really is. And I know that sometimes when things are weird in the world, that we like to gather together, you know, because it lets you kind of forget about the rest of the world. And for 3 days or 4 days, you just kind of, this is what we're doing. Shut yourself in. And I think that's a very powerful thing. We'd love to get together in groups like that. Lots of people watching from all over today. Let's see. Oh, Fran says the Kelby One crew were awesome. Such a talented bunch. Thank you, Fran.
Yeah,
Wayne says, hi from Melbourne, Australia. Wet and cold outside, lying in bed, heat bag on my feet, watching the grid. Way to go. All right. Way to go, Wayne. Sounds like a perfect way to watch the grid. Hey, Chuck says, hello from the Dali Museum, which is an awesome museum in St. Petersburg, Florida, dedicated to the work of Salvador Dali. Beautiful museum.
Never been there.
Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, just stunning. Cynthia's here from Bologna, Italy. Boy, everybody's here today. All right. Ben says, woohoo, for the first, woohoo, time for the grid. Ben and Bridget are here again. Glad to see Dave on there. But why no Clash tribute? Yeah, the last time you were on the grid, we did the Clash song.
Amongst the group, my voice gets lost. As a duo, the grid would shut down in 2 minutes.
Not true. Anyway, we're glad to have you here. Hey, I want to talk to you about what our topic is. We have lots to share today. So our topic today is we're talking about Photoshop and things that we would love for Adobe to I don't want to say it's new features. It's fixing stuff that's there to make our workflows faster and quicker.
Just little amendments.
Yeah, I've got some.
Add-ons.
I have some. And so what I'm going to do when the show's over, too, I'm going to package the whole thing up. I'm going to send it to some product managers and friends at Adobe to see some of your ideas as well. Because Dave and I have some ideas. I'm going to show some. Dave's going to show some. But we also, of course, want your ideas, too, because all we know is the ideas that we have. There's a whole community out there watching, so we'd love to get yours. A couple other things before we get started. Look, because of Dave, I'm wearing Beatles shirt. Tribute to Dave, shout out. We got tribute to Fernando, got a tribute to Dave here. The Beatles, they're from what? Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona.
Right. They were awesome, right? And it was Bob, Ringo, Frank,
Dave D. Dozy,
and Dickie,
Mick, and Titch.
And yeah, exactly. Anyway,
there was 11 of them.
So before we get into digging into this, so we did this members only webcast today, which was interesting because we were going to talk about Photoshop for design. All we talked about was graphic design because Dave, of course, makes his living as a professional graphic designer, and he dabbles in photography for fun, but he's really a designer at heart. And all the questions were about design and pricing and logos and dealing with clients, which was great. I would just rename it next time. I would just call Dave Clayton in graphic design because that's all the questions were about that. It was nothing about Photoshop, but it was still great. We had a wonderful time. But so at the end, we started talking quite a bit about logos and logo design. And as soon as we go off the air, you know, because somebody asked what your favorite logo was.
We both said FedEx.
Yeah, the FedEx logo with a little how it's made to have a arrow in it, like FedEx Go. You know, it's kind of so. Anyway, Dave starts pulling up all these other logos, and I'm like, dude, we should have shown these on the air. In fact, we should have just done the logo show. So I thought it would be kind of fun, just real quickly, to show you a couple of these that Dave was showing. And this is the first one he showed me. Now, it's for, if you can, I got to connect to the thing. And you got to click to number 1. I'll go to number 2.
Oh, okay.
That's number 2. Let's zoom over to my screen here at number 1. Oh, I'm on 2. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, so this is the Toblerone logo. Now, you can imagine that I've seen, I don't eat a whole lot of Toblerone. I'm not like a super big chocolate guy, but I am married to the queen of chocolate. So Toblerone has made its way into our house many, many times. I actually like it. It's pretty good. And I've seen this logo a million times. And so Dave shows me, do you know the thing about this? I'm looking at the T and I go, yeah, there's a mountain and all. And I didn't realize it, but of course, there's a bear in the logo because the town of Toblerone in Switzerland, I guess, their town
of bears.
It's a bear. Their thing is about their town logo or mascot or whatever is a bear, and it's in there. So if you look, I'm gonna go back and find that. So you can see it. Here it is. There it is. Right there, I'll zoom in, and it's like a bear, man. Right there in the logo is a bear.
And I can tell you a quick funny story about Toblerone. Post-Brexit, the biggest thing in the news wasn't Brexit. It was because Toblerone reduced the amount of triangles in a bar of Toblerone, and that became the trending subject of the UK. We didn't care that we're leaving Europe, but we cared that we were being shortchanged on Toblerone triangle chocolate.
No, well, it is.
It's important things in life.
That is the important things in life, because some things actually affect your real life, and of course, Brexit will affect no one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just saying that to freak everybody out. Totally kidding. Anyway, so there's some more logos that he starts showing me all these. And Eric Kuna comes in, and everybody's pointing out these logos. I'm the one I'm most embarrassed about. I can tell you is this one. Now, you got to realize, so we go to Dunkin' Donuts every single morning. Every morning we take our daughter to school, we go to Dunkin' Donuts. It's just what we do. Our Dunkin' Donuts is half Dunkin' Donuts, half Baskin Robbins, like many Dunkin' Donuts are here in the United States. By the way, there's a Dunkin' Donuts by law every 50 feet in the city of Boston. It is an ordinance that you cannot go 50 feet without a donut in Boston. We're not in Boston. We have them like they're a mile apart. I see it every day. I've seen this logo since I was a kid. I never noticed, because Baskin Robbins is famous for 31 flavors. I never noticed the 31 until today. So the great designer that came up with a way to work that in there, I feel terrible for them, because I've destroyed the awesome, cool thing that they did. And by the way, for the FedEx logo, if you just want to see, there's the arrow. I never knew about the spoon. I don't think it's a spoon. Spoon arrow. It's not a spoon. Come on. All right, you had some. Can you share a few of yours? Oh, here's one. You shared this one on the air, the Amazon logo.
Yeah. So this was... Yeah, so the Amazon, and I'll say it properly for you this time, between the A to Z, there's a smile. So it shows Amazon sell everything from A to Z.
Can you zoom in on that? Do you have a way to zoom?
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I never noticed that.
Here, there's a cheeky little
And
smile.
by the way, he said Amazon, so those of you who are participating on a drinking game, make sure you take a drink. That's the first time we've mentioned Amazon this show.
What, Amazon?
Not Amazon.
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 And it's not .co.uk. It's .com. Look, that's actually an American company. We can grab that one.
Yeah, well,
give us one. Everything started in the UK, but Amazon started here. Give us one. All right. There's another logo that I found that I thought was kind of cool. Somebody else showed me. Oh, you showed me the Wendy's logo. That was interesting. Do you have it?
Wendy's. I'll have to put it back in.
This was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. While you're doing that one, I'll do Tostitos. All right. I've looked at the Tostitos logos. I have Tostitos in my house at this very moment, right? I did not know in the middle of Tostitos was two people sharing a chip and dipping it into salsa. I'm going to zoom in so you can really see it here. Right? So look, it's two people, and they're like, look, it's a chip, and look, and it's salsa. Yay! Now, do not do this. Don't separate just it, because it creates something else.
A bird. An English garden bird.
Yeah, an English garden bird.
Yeah.
So don't do that. That would be uncouth. Go back here, and there it is. All right, let's show the Wendy's. He's got a Wendy's here. So take a look at Dave's.
I hadn't really seen this one before, but in her neck it says "Mom." Now, you spell "mom" wrong.
It's not mom. It's
mom.
It's not
Mummy.
mom. No.
But yeah, there's a mom.
Mom is mom.
Mom in a collar. And I like the Tour de France one as well. The guy on the bike.
I didn't see the Tour de France one. All right, you look at that one. I'm going to show another one because I wanted to show. Well, that one's kind of obvious. Hold on. There was one here that I did not know about. LG. You got to show the LG logo. Well, Tour de France is a little more obvious.
Yeah.
It's got a breast in the middle of it, right? That's it. Go up to that one.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Right? Is that no?
No.
No, it's got
a little man on a bike.
Yeah, it's a little man.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice it was a man on a bike. Oh, I never saw that. I'm such a wiener. What? I didn't know. Yeah, he's going to the left, right?
Yeah, that's him. So there's his leg.
Oh, no, there's his leg. There he goes. He's going to the right. Yeah, that's his head.
So he's leaning forward.
Yeah, he's leaning forward.
The back wheel.
Wow, did I totally get that wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the seat between the O and the...
Yeah, kind of. It's a weird one.
Well, that's kind of cool. Can you have the animation of the LG though? The LG animation.
Well, let me find that. Because
all right. While he's doing that, I was going to show you one. Let me find it here. It's not the LG. I'm looking. Rats. It was, Eric was showing me one. Well, he was showing me well, this is an interesting one. So BMW, right? So BMW, the logo is supposed to be a propeller.
Yeah.
Right? Because they used to make planes, I guess.
Yeah.
And so that's what the shape is for in the middle of. But I asked him, do you know what the Yamaha logo has? So Yamaha motorcycles. Think about Yamaha motorcycles. They actually have a tuning fork because Yamaha makes pianos. That was their first thing, was piano. It actually has a tuning fork. It's like, bang, a 440.
What a random pair of things to sell. Pianos and motorbikes.
And motorcycles and cars, I guess, at one point. All right. Hey, all right. Robert's here from Lens Pro. Rob from Lens Pro. Ooh, we got giveaways from Lens Pro. Thank you. I just happened to be... Oh, that's right. At the end of today's show, we're giving away not one, but two Lens Pro to Go gift certificates for people living in America. And the reason why we do it in America is for one simple reason. They only ship in America. So if you win this and you're in Finland, this card does you no good. But you will have a chance for not just that, but other prizes.
If you're in Finland, it will scrape the ice off your windscreen.
It will scrape the ice off your windshield. This is a windscreen right here. See this? This is a windscreen.
Okay.
What's on your car is
the windshield.
I'll make you American here. All right. We're also going to give away a copy of Cordy Barker's How to Create Badass Effects in Photoshop. So it's an awesome Photoshop effects book. You just turn to the page you want, and there's the effect. And then we're also giving a copy away of Glenn Dewis. Glenn, one of the greatest guys and super, super talented. And boy, is he a huge hit at Photoshop World.
He was
People
massive.
Love him. He did a class and has a book called Photograph Like a Thief. And the subhead is Using Imitation and Inspiration to Create Great Images. Very, very, very well done book from a very talented guy. We're giving away all of those. And if that wasn't enough, and it's way too much, we're also going to give away a copy of, not a copy, we're going to give away a ticket to my Lightroom on Tour seminar. I will be in Minneapolis next month, I think on like the, 19th or something, and then Indianapolis a couple days later. So Minneapolis and Indianapolis, I'm coming your way next month in May, and we're going to give away a ticket for either one of those. So there you go.
And
all right.
I have a giveaway.
Ooh, Dave has a giveaway.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a crazy day.
I know. So if you are a graphic designer and you use Illustrator, the company I work for called Astute Graphics, we do plugins for Illustrator, and I've just messaged my boss and said, can I give something away on the grid? And he said, yes, you can.
All right, so an Illustrator plugin.
Yeah, so it's called if you go on the website, astutegraphics.com, look for the Draw Bundle. And it's about $150. We'll give that away as well.
All right. So Astute Graphics.
Yeah, ASTUTE.
Hey, look, it's Rubino. Rubino Wen. So for those of you who watch The Grid regularly, one day a commenter shows up. Her name was all together, and her name is Robin Owen. And I read it as Rubino Wen. I'm like, oh, good, there's a comment here from Rubino Wen. Anyway, we got to meet Rubino. She is absolutely lovely. We loved her. We took her into our group. She's now one of us. It is all downhill from here. We hung out with Rubino. She's awesome and so much fun. We're glad you're here, Rubino. Man, everybody's here from all over the place. Robert's here from Austria. Larry Becker says the attendees were spectacular. They really were. Jay Grammond asks, what are the dates for next time and where? We are working on that right now, Jay. We may know by next week where the next Photoshop World's going to be. We have a lot of options. And so we had a long-term contract with Mandalay Bay, and it was like 10 years. Our 10 years are up. So now we can go all over the place. And so we're very excited about the opportunities. But I tell you what, it hasn't been decided, but Orlando was such a wonderful venue. We had the whole convention center to ourselves. Like, we had the entire side, top floor, bottom floor, all the way down, both floors. It was awesome.
If you want the same kind of weather, London, it's always hot.
Probably won't be in London.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I do have a message. Kathy Bateson's here. Hi, Kathy. We got to meet Kathy for the first time.
Yeah.
Kathy says, I think, or her first time at Photoshop World, I think Glenn Dewis's logo was brilliant. Did Dave do that for him? You did.
I did.
We showed it in the private members only webcast. But while we're talking about Kathy Bateson, Kathy, I have something for you. Are you watching? Not one. Hold one. Not two. Thank you, Dave. 3 boxes. Let's look over there, of Kraft macaroni and cheese that we are sending to you. Now, I understand that someone from our staff, was it you, Jen, that you gave Kathy Bateson macaroni and cheese, and she thought it was okay. It wasn't Kraft. It wasn't the stuff that we grew up. It wasn't. She loved it? She loved it? Wait till she has this stuff. This stuff will change your life. This is stuff, and it's very inexpensive. This is supposed to feed a family of 4. Can I tell you what? I would hate to see how small the family of 4 is that this could feed, because like my daughter nails one of these almost, right? And my daughter is like, she's as thin as this box, and she will almost wail on one of these. She's 11. So anyway, Kathy, these are yours. We're gonna display them. Here we go. We're gonna display them.
Oh, look at that goodness.
Right here. Those are yours, Kathy. We're going to send them out today. They should be there by June, July, something like that.
I'll take them back.
Anyway.
I'll see Kathy. I'll take them back.
You really? You're going to take them back?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a boss.
Well, they let me through customs, though.
Well, they get through customs. Nobody cares.
It's
Mac and
really
cheese.
expensive,
When
isn't
you go through customs and they see this, they're going to just go stamp, and they don't even ask a question, because they know that you're a boss when you travel with Kraft macaroni and cheese. Also, check this out. I'm not going to mention her name and embarrass her or anything, but I got a cool gift. So our studio audience today is actually from the FBI, and she brought me an FBI hat. So shout out. You don't have to say anything. I told her, I said, if it's only one person, you don't have to clap or even anything. But anyway, she was very kind enough to bring me. She's a photographer with the FBI.
I'm
going to
steal
Photoshop World, and
I'm going to steal it before I leave.
You're not stealing that, dude. That's my bad.
Who's going to stop me?
All right,
FBI.
Kathy hates and says, "Yay, mac and cheese!" All right, Chris Wiley says, "I missed the webcast today. Will it be on the Kelby One site?" Yep. Go to your dashboard and under webcasts. It's right there. And Scott Cowland says, that Dave Clayton guy talks funny. Where is he from? I think we found that out earlier. Austin, Texas is where you're from.
My parents are from Phoenix, and Austin, Texas.
All righty. Fran says, Corey was so nice and gave me his book at Photoshop World. He also signed it. I am so lucky. Yes, you are. It was so nice. And look, Hilmar Smith. Hola, amigos. Thank you, Hilmar. Hilmar was there. Everybody was at Photoshop. It was like the greatest gathering of the grid. It was like the grid regulars. It was so much fun. So if you didn't come, well, you know. Oh, look, Jessica says the Goodwill. So Jessica is my art director. She said Goodwill logo has a face also. She's right, the Goodwill logo. Ah. Oh, you didn't show LG. Look at LG morphs.
I can't find the animated one.
Oh, the animated one is great.
But yeah,
it morphs into Pac-Man.
So yeah, the L leans over.
But we found a video where it actually does it, and it's so slick.
Really, I don't know if it's deliberate or just somebody went, "Oh, that looks like Pac-Man."
All right. Oh, hey, Rose says, looking forward to Photoshop World 2018. So that means Rose is coming all the way from New Zealand. We missed you, Rose. We'd have loved to have you there.
Hello, Alan, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Beto's here from Brazil. Everybody's here. It's awesome today. All right. So we kind of got off track. We're gonna take a short break. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna start sharing, and you guys start thinking also. Start thinking about. You can wear it. You can wear it. No, you'd look like a boss with that on. Oh. You'll be deported instantly. Anyway,
back to
No, you got to wear it like a boss. Okay. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, and I want you guys to be thinking about this. Cool things that you would love to see Adobe tweak or add. They have a word for these, actually. It's called JDIs, things where they just do it. These are things that have been in Photoshop for a while, and if we just did this little thing, it would help a lot of people's. I've got 2 ones that are big. In fact, I actually sent a video of one to Adobe. I wrote the other one up, but I'm going to show you guys, see what you think, and let me know yours. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Dave Clayton's here. We got mac and cheese. We have an FBI hat. We're giving away stuff. It's a great day on the grid. Don't go away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tracy Sweeney of Elan Studio, and I'm going to be teaching you all about family photography. We're going to go ahead and craft these really beautiful, timeless images for our clients that they will treasure for a lifetime. I'll be teaching you all of my tips, how I harness this really gorgeous, but often harsh light, what I do when I'm in a park setting and I'm working with dappled light beneath the trees, what I do at the beach in golden hour. Can't wait to teach you everything I know about family photography. So join me here at kelby1.com.
Hey guys, Terry White here, and I just finished recording my class on Adobe Stock. You're going to learn some great things about contributing to Adobe Stock, including things like how to keyword for success, what makes a great stock image, and most importantly, the entire process from start to finish, from getting your images ready, keywording, and submitting them for success. I look forward to seeing you in my class. So check it out only at kelby1.com.
Hi, I'm Richard Burnaby. We're in Cape Hatteras in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We're going to be doing some landscape photography on these beaches and lighthouses and sunrises and sunsets. I'm going to show you some powerful tools in the digital darkroom, exposure blending, focus stacking, panoramas. So in order to get the most out of those digital tools, you need to capture the images in the field in such a way to make the best images possible. I'm Richard Burnaby. Check out my latest class on kelby1.com.
Hey, we are back. We're having a very fun day today. We have Dave Clayton, our buddy, with us. Very, very happy to have you.
Hello.
Here, Hello.
Hello.
Hey, so you just guys, I think you just saw the official trailer for a class that comes out. Well, it's supposed to come out tomorrow, right? New class Thursday, but it probably will come out either now or tonight. But Richard Burnaby is awesome, and they went on location to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. You just saw the trailer, but you can go, I think, catch that probably. But what do you think tonight, Jen? Think it'll be there tonight? Yeah. Think it's out now? Might be there? Yeah. So can I ask you a question? It's New Class Thursday. We should just change it to New Class Wednesday. No. Every now and then we have one that slips to Thursday. Okay, we're just going to leave it there. New Class Thursday. Tomorrow, Richard Burnaby Landscapes. Go check it out. Lots of comments. Fernando said, Photoshop World is very addictive. Now I need it again badly. Loopy Bridget, I met Loopy. She's just as sweet as she can be. Met her. She's like, cannot wait for the next Photoshop World. It was amazing. It's an annual event from now on. So glad to hear it. And Dalton says,
he won a guru.
Did he win a guru?
He won a guru.
He did win a guru.
The fish in the stingray. Yeah.
And he was also in the running to win another prize just for being a model in one of the classes. Dalton says, I have not started withdrawals yet. I'm still writing the Photoshop World 2017 high.
And do you know what was cool about his picture? I went up to him and I said, you submitted that on a blind critique on the grid. And he said, I did.
Wow. I bet we liked it.
I know, because he entered it.
I bet we liked it a lot. And like Fran Hughes says, you need to go. It will change your life. D. Hughes says, shout out from Orlando. Went to my first Photoshop World. Had a blast. Steven says, I had a great time. My first, and it will not be my last. And Fernando says, Scott, I'm still speechless seeing the Portuguese flag. You guys are absolutely awesome. Well, that was a very kind gift, Fernando. All right. So let's get to work here. Yeah. So I want to tell you my first one of these Photoshoppy things. So this is one I've been begging for a while. I create a lot. Oh, I got to get onto the thing. I create a lot of web graphics, right? You guys know I do blogging. I'm on Facebook. I'm on the Twitter. I'm on the Face page.
MySpace.
All right. I'm on MySpace. I'm on all these things. I'm on Your Space. I'm in Your Face. Okay. So here's a lot of what I do. So here is a blank document that is the size of what I need to use for my blog. So my blog uses 750 pixels. If I go to like Facebook, I might do 1,000 pixels. Depends on where the image is going. But here's the picture I'm working on. So today I did a thing on a cool new feature on Lightroom Killer Tips, which is another blog I write daily. So at Lightroom Killer Tips today, I did a thing on a new feature in Lightroom Mobile's camera. I learned it from Julianne Cost at Photoshop World. I was like, I had no idea. It's a great little feature on exposure compensation. Anyway, so I'm making the graphic for it today. Here's the graphic, right? So I select all. Okay, and I copy it. I'm going to copy and paste it or drag and drop it, or whatever you want to do, into this other document. And look how big it is, right? It's giant because I'm placing it from a high-resolution image, a somewhat high-resolution image, into a lower image. Now, I'm going to go to Free Transform. I press Command-T on Mac or Control-T on Windows. Well, I can't reach the corner handles. I can reach that one side handle, but I can't reach the handles. Now, there happens to be a secret shortcut that, if you know it, will automatically resize the window, shrink it down to where you can actually reach all the handles. Now, you have to know the shortcut, but I happen to, and I learned, by the way, the shortcut from Julianne Cost years ago. She always knows all the inside stuff. Command-0 on Mac or Control-0 on Windows. Watch. Here's what it does. Shrinks the window. So look, now I can reach the Free Transform handles. I can hold the Shift key, and I can get it to fit inside. Still doesn't fit all the way in. I can shrink it right there. So then it works. So then I hit return, and I bring it back up, and there it is. Now it actually fits. Here's what I want Adobe to do. That should be a one-click thing. I bring it in, I click the button, and it sizes it down to fit inside the frame. The reason why I know Adobe can do this, because InDesign has that feature. It has had that feature for years and years and years. I would love to see this, because that's every day a part of my workflow.
Workflow.
That's when you're working with Jared Poland. That's workflow. This is workflow. Workflow. Every day I'm dragging graphics from. Now think about this, guys. If you are working with a high-resolution image from your DSLR, even from your phone, if I take a picture with my phone, it's 12 megapixels.
Yeah.
I want to drag it into the right size for wherever I'm putting it.
Yeah.
Instagram, whatever. I got to resize it and go through the same thing. So how many steps does it take? Drag it over, go to free transform, press Command 0 if you know that keyboard shortcut. Drag it all the way down until it fits inside. In this case, I had to drag it twice to make it fit all the way because it didn't fit all the way. Why isn't there just a button where you just go boom and it goes jump? And the button should be called Fit to Canvas.
Yeah.
Or Fit to Image Area. Or fit
like
to
it does
boundary.
in InDesign.
Like it does in
Yeah.
InDesign. Thank you, Dave. You know InDesign quite well. You have classes on Kelby 1 in InDesign.
I do have 2 classes.
And you were here taping classes on Photoshop.
Yes.
Photoshop for designers.
Yes.
Including one Photoshop for social media.
Absolutely.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you. Okay, back to our story. Anyway, so that's one of mine. I think if they could do that, it's a little thing. I sent Adobe a video this week because I talked to somebody about it before, and I said, you know what, let me make a video. So I sent it over there. We'll see how it goes. Because, you know, they're constantly adding things. I showed on our private webcast earlier, I showed how many things Adobe has added since the first version of CC to where they are today. It is a staggering amount of things for CC.
Yeah, enough to make someone with CS6 going, I'm not going Creative Cloud, cry.
Make them cry, right. All right, so that's one. Dave, I got more, but let's see what you got.
Yeah, my one was, if someone can tell me a way of doing this, then I will give you a prize. So if somebody sends me a Photoshop file that I haven't created and they send it and there's a smart object in it,
okay.
Sometimes what I want to do is change something in the smart object, but also see what's going on in the background. Now, if you go into a smart object here, so what I've done is I've placed, take my glasses off because I can't see my screen. So if I double click this, it goes into another screen and I can change, you know, I can move that down and then I can go File, Save, close it.
And it takes the changes back to the smart object.
But I want to see the guy behind. I want to see the changes that I'm making in relation to the image that the smart object's from. Oh. So if I go and adjust it and I have to come back and go, oh no, I need camera a bit higher and come back and forth. So I wish smart objects would onion skin when you open the smart object. And because if I do
so
again,
you kind of want like a grayed out version of what's back there.
Yeah, so I can't see the guy. I want to see the guy in the background to know how, if I move something in relation to the background image, I want like an onion skin.
Because you can move camera, but you have no way to see where that is in relationship to the picture
so
of the guy.
So I have to move it and then go save it and go back,
save it and
go back. And also the other thing with smart objects, do you want me to do that one as well?
Yeah, sure.
The second one is to save that problem. The other way to do it would be to have the original files open actually on the page. But if I want to take the files from that smart object, I've got to open it, go in the new file, copy them, drag them back in. What I want to just do is right click and unzip. It's just to release the items in the smart object back into the file because I didn't create the smart object, someone else did.
So this is kind of like when you have a folder full of labels.
Yeah, like a zip file.
You know, remove from folder and they're all separate.
Yeah. So release the smart object. So I have all the original files from the smart object.
And there's no way to do that? Anybody out there know a way to do that? Anything?
You can export all the items into another folder, but you can't. I can't see that you can release it into.
All right. So our own art director Jessica Maldonado says, who Jessica, by the way, is like the most awesome designer. She's nuts, isn't she? She's crazy.
In fact, when the question from the webcast was who are my favorite graphic designers, Jessica and Kim, who do your books.
Oh yeah, they're the best. They are the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, hands down. They're like my secret weapon. Well, it's not a secret really anymore. Yeah. All right. So Jessica asks, oh my God, smart objects need to pop right back from Illustrator to Photoshop like they did when they first came. Did they do that?
Oh.
Now, so Jessica, are you saying that like when they first introduced smart objects, they used to do that, now they don't? Or are you saying something else? While we're saying that, J.R. Maddox says, Dave's my idol. With a winky face, though, so we don't really know.
He's a good guy.
All right, so Johan asks, Scott, what if you made an action that does the resize, or doesn't that work? The problem would be, I would have
Why
to have
don't Adobe?
you would have to have an action for every single size that you use. And I use all different sizes, Johan, so it would also, that's a workaround. So Johan, if I have to create an action, that's a workaround. They already have it in InDesign. Just give me a button. Let me a button that says fit to canvas. I don't have to know the secret shortcut. I don't have to write an action. And here's the other thing, Johan. So a lot of people don't even know exact actions exist. Have no idea how to write one and all. I want something that when I ask for these things, I do want them for me because it's for my own work. But I could write 5 actions and all. But I always think that I'm representing more than myself, because I teach out there. I talk to people one-on-one, and I hear them frustrated with things, and I'm like, and they're always like, "Will you pass this on to Adobe?" And my answer is yes, I will. So I want everybody to have a better Photoshop, not just well, I made actions, so everybody else, you're a host. Hey, Deb Usilka says, hi, Dave.
Hi, Deb. Hello.
That's Deb from Boston.
Boston.
She's a Patriots fan. So she's kind of loose on cheating. Who said that? Just let it sit for a minute.
Yeah.
He served a 4-game suspension, so. And we're back. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's someone else. Tim Swartz says, Dave.
Now Tim's he's the community member interview in the next Photoshop User magazine.
Is he? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Diane says, great request, Scott. That one drives me crazy also. All right. Says, okay, Fernando's got one. Scott, you really want Adobe to help? Have them change the way brush resizes. The left bracket and right bracket do not work with international keyboards.
So what does he call an international keyboard? Because it works on mine, and I'm international. Or am I just English?
You're using what's called a QWERTY keyboard.
What does he mean?
I think he means so he's in Portugal. He probably has a Portuguese keyboard.
Okay.
And where the bracket keys are, either they don't control the brush size. Now, Fernando, there is another way. You don't have to use a keyboard shortcut at all, right? You can grab the brush tool. Let me find a brush tool. Hold on. I'm not connected to the thing, am I? And so it's weird for me on a laptop because I always forget. Oh, there it is. All right. Let me just show you. I got to connect to control room, whatever. Hang on.
2.
Control room 2.
Control room 2.
All right. So you can do this. You can change the brush size by I'm holding on a Mac Control Option. All right. So it would be it dropped. No, there's the connection. And you can change the hardness by dragging, and you can change the size. So left to right is the diameter, up and down is the hardness and softness of the brush. That's a quick way to get around. So that is Control Option on a Mac. I'm going to guess on Windows it would be Control Alt, but I haven't tested it. But we'll see. Someone will test it and they'll drop a note. But that's so without using those. But I agree. I actually use those keyboard shortcuts quite a lot. Deb Uzilska says, I should hang up right now. Deb, are you watching us on a phone call? Sorry, Deb, I couldn't help myself. I have to, because my Falcons were in the Super Bowl, I have to just kind of somehow find a way to
feel good.
To feel good. Thank you. Hey, Victoria Pavlov, let me say this again. Photoshop World instructor and brilliant artist, Victoria Pavlov, who was teaching for her first time at Photoshop World. Yes. I saw pictures of the crowd for her class. It was whatever is beyond standing room only, that's what was there. She's unbelievable. And someone else, actually, I read a comment from someone just raving about how inspiring she was and smart and cool.
She's a fantastic artist.
And she says, I'm leading all up to it because she has a comment here. She says, hello.
Hello.
Come on, Victoria, you could have said a lot more than that. We gave you this big build up and...
We got hello and...
Oh, we do have a smiley face, so it's okay. All right. So I got one for you. I would love for Adobe to do this. Now, here's why I know Adobe can do this. Because it was in an Adobe product years ago called, and see if anybody remembers this, it was for web design, Image Ready. Do you recognize Image Ready?
I remember
Does that
Image
sound
Ready,
a little bit? Jen, Image Ready before your time? No, don't remember? It doesn't?
No.
They got to realize Jen's like 12. So Jen looks very, 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 very young. So I imagine. Anyway, Image Ready had a wonderful feature. So watch here in Photoshop, and I'm going to show you the pane, and then I'll show you how they used to do it. Here is the foreground color picker right over here, right? Over to the far left. See where my cursor is? Whee! All right, right there. Now, here's how you, if I want the color red, I have I have to open a whole panel. I could have the swatches panel. I have to go find it, open it, click on it. Forget that. Now, if you have it open, it's better. If you already have, like I noticed you have the swatches panel open.
Yeah.
But for photographers do not often have that open. Now, you're a graphic designer, and an evil one at that, so you probably have it open quite often. On my machine, I don't ever have the swatches open unless I need to like pick up. But I choose colors all day long, right? But not like 50 times a day, but 6 times a day. All right. So watch what it takes. Click 1, I bring up the color picker. Click 2, I choose the hue. Click 3, I choose the saturation. Click 4, I hit OK. Click 5 is actually when I start to paint. It's like 5 clicks to get to that point. So here's what Image Ready did that was so awesome. When you went and clicked, and so I'm going to set my foreground color back to black. When you went and clicked and held, you would click and hold, all right? So now you have to look at me, because I can't show it to you because it's not in Photoshop. If you clicked and held, a panel would pop up right there with your favorite colors. And because, now think about this, you're clicking and holding. You didn't have to click. All you did was go choose. So if I wanted red, here's how it worked. Click and hold, red. Done. One click, I had any color I want. And you could make the blocks bigger or smaller. Yeah. You could have like just 12 colors. Like if you just use red, blue, green, yellow, orange, you know, purple, you could have your 12 favorite colors, or you could have 50 favorite colors. But whatever it was, click, hold, and go right to it and let go, and you had the color. So instead of 4 clicks, it was 1 single click.
Yeah. I like the thing in InDesign as well that I wish they'd put in Photoshop is if I've got like this image here in Photoshop and I want to color swatch from there, if I open that in InDesign, shall I go back into InDesign and show it?
Yes, would you?
Yeah, I will.
So this is a feature you want in Photoshop, and it's inside InDesign.
And again, if someone knows a way of doing it, let's just place it.
Yeah, if you know a way of doing one of these things that we're thinking, I wish was in Photoshop. Because I've learned some stuff here recently that that thing I learned about the Lightroom camera from Julian, I had no idea was in there.
Yeah. So this one, I've got an image in InDesign, and I want to create something using the colors from that image.
You want to create a background, and you want to make sure it works with that image.
So if I come down to the eyedropper down here, there's one called Color Theme Tool.
I know what this is.
And if I hover it over the image, it didn't work. I picked the wrong one, didn't I? No. There you go.
There it is.
So I get a set of colors from that image that I can use, but also if I want to change whether it's dark, deep, muted.
Oh my gosh.
So I can pick a selection of colors from the image. Then I can choose the one I want, say bright. I can add it to my swatches panel, and I can add it to CC libraries. So if I've got a library for a client who wants that image, those colors go in that CC library. So if I work in Illustrator, InDesign, and Photoshop, then I can pull the colors out. But I wish Photoshop would do that.
I wish Photoshop would do that.
I wish Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign were made by the same team.
Right? So can I tell you a true story? This is a true story. So now this is going back many years ago. There was probably nobody in the room that is still working at Adobe when I told this story. But so there was a time. So look on my screen real quick. If you just go ahead and go to my screen. Do you see how we have a nested panel? So here's my layers, and then you got channels, paths, and history. But below it, do you notice how another one is attached to it? Adjustments, properties, and actions. They're connected, right? That was in Illustrator years before it was in Photoshop, right? You don't have to show Photoshop anymore because the rest is not going to demo. So I went to Adobe, and I'm sitting in this room with all these Photoshop people, and I don't think any of them are still there. But anyway, I said, so hey guys, is there a way where we could add to make panels fit together like they do today? Yeah. And I go, in Illustrator, you do it all day long. That sounds terrible, you know what I mean? You link these things together. And I'm like, but Photoshop, we can't do it. Why is that? And I'm looking around, there's all these engineers, and it goes dead silent, just completely dead. And then you just, do you want to tell them? Do you want to tell them? I'm like, tell me what? Like, did I ask, like, I obviously asked a question that was a sore subject. And I said, you guys know how to do it. It's in Illustrator. And they said, we went to the engineer on the Illustrator team that wrote the code for it, and he wouldn't give it to us. I said, he wouldn't give it to you? Yeah, we asked him, and we asked him twice, and he made it clear that he wasn't going to give it to the Photoshop team. So we do want that feature, but we'll have to write it from scratch.
No.
Yes. Because you know what it is? A great engineer, someone who comes up with stuff like that, they'll be like, hey, you know what? Give me crap, I'll go to Google. I'll go to Apple. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll get a raise. I'll get a bigger car. So they're like, oh, it's okay. That's all right.
If Adobe have paid his wages.
I know. To me, it was like, when they told me this, I'm sitting there like this. I'm like, you tell him to get his butt down here. I mean, I was like, are you kidding me? He works for you. He's an employee. And they're like, they made it real clear, like, yeah, we asked him twice, and he made it very, very clear that he was not going to give it to us. And there's not, and I'm like, you can't tell him, and they're like, he'll quit. Like, if you push him, he'll just go someplace else. And I'm like, I was like, Dave, I was just like, it was my first peek behind the curtain to what life is like as a developer, and I was like, oh my gosh. And if you'll hand me that clear glass thing over there, right there, right. It would make me start drinking heavily. I'd be like, hey, do you mind doing that feature? No? You're not going to do it? I mean, I was just, now you can drink.
Thanks.
Anyway, it was just, I'll never forget it. Now, this is like literally 10 or 12 years ago. It was a long time ago. But I'm still just like, wow. Hey, look, Ben remembers. He says, geez, I remember Image Ready. I made animated GIFs.
Right, yeah.
GIFs with a J.
What does GIF stand for? What are the 3 words?
Hey, Kathy Bateson was there, and she said, I'm so small I could not see over the crowds when I went to see Victoria. So, yeah, Victoria's thing was crazy. All right, so here we go. Hey, John Mayfield has one. It's not a Photoshop one. He says, but I'd like Lightroom Mobile to keep the collection structure. Yeah, hey, John, I would too. John, I would like it to keep, like, collection sets and all that stuff, but I have a big one. So for those of you who, I don't. Do you have an iPhone cable?
Oh, no, not on me.
Anybody got an iPhone cable? Like, it has to be iPhone? No, nobody? All right, maybe someone watching at home from Germany will drive here. We'll fly here and get here. Anyway, I was going to show you this thing. So the thumbnails in Lightroom Mobile are actually half the size of a postage stamp. They're so small, and there's no way to resize them. So, can I tell you something I did? It's a true story. You guys who watch The Grid all the time, you probably remember Josh Haftel, the Lightroom Mobile product manager, being here. And so, he's sitting in my office, and he says, okay, I know that you have a long laundry list of things you want added to Lightroom Mobile. Here I am. Let me have them. So I go, thank you, Josh. Let me pull out my phone. I had to. I had a whole long thing. But I did this. I said, hey, let me ask you a question. And I'm gonna open Lightroom Mobile just for a second so you can see it. All right. So let me get back to the collections page. All right. So I don't know if you can see this. You'd have to kind of zoom in, because if I had a cable, I could actually plug it in and show you on screen. But I don't have one. It doesn't look it's coming anytime soon. So Steve is going to do. All right, look how small. Now this is us zoomed in on it. Thank you, Steve. Look how small it is. So I hand my phone to Josh Haftel, the Lightroom product manager, and I said, hey, the 4th one down, can you tell me what that is? And he looks at it and goes, no. And I said, do you know why? Because your thumbnails are too dang small. I said, if you can't even see what it is, I said, by the way, that's the interior of a restaurant. If you can't even see what size the thumbnails are, what good? Why even put thumbnails? Just tell us what the names are. If you make the thumbnail so small. So that's my big grip. All right, Fernando says, GIF. You can do better, Scott. It's GIF. It's not GIF, Fernando. Go look it up. Fran says it's GIF.
Graphics, interchange.
Right,
format.
but the guy that created it actually last year answered this thing. Did the feed go down or something? Oh, you got a cable. Ah. Oh, well, it's kind of anticlimactic now. How you like that catch? Can we do that again? I'm better than that.
Is that like your football team?
In midair. Thank you, Ron. All right, now you can see it. But anyway, so the guy that invented it, actually, because people would argue back and forth, it's GIF, it's GIF, it's GIF, it's GIF. The guy that invented it finally came out and said, it's spelled GIF, it stands for graphic interchange format, it's pronounced GIF. He's
What
the
does
guy
he
that
know?
invented it. You can't go, no, that's like going to Gaussian and going, nope, it's Gaussian. It's Gaussian. I changed my way I pronounce it to Gaussian blur because it's designed after the scientist who came up with it, Frederick Gauss or something like that.
Who invented Z?
Nobody invented Z. It's a made-up phrase. All right, hang on. I'm going to show you this on my computer. And Josh Haftel, while I'm giving him crap, is actually a great guy. And he actually listened and heard, went through all my diatribes about everything. I whined like just a baby, but like a baby. Hold on one second. Give me just a second to get this bad boy running because it might take me 3 hours. No, it's going to take me just a second because I have the secret thing. The cord is the secret to making it work. The cord is the secret to making it work. Let's do that. Wait for it.
This song sponsored by Kelby One.
This song is awesome. All right. Let me turn my phone tall. All right. So there it is, right? So look how small it is. Can you see? Oh, I'm not connected. Hang on. I'm not connected. Yeah, I'm not connected. Whoa. Who's connected? I'm not connected. Yeah.
What's that song called?
This song's called
Connected.
I'm Not Connected. I'm not connected. I got Kiss and Def Leppard. Can you see it? There it is. It's on screen. Boom, there it is. Look how small those thumbnails are, and that's full screen on my laptop.
What thumbnails?
Those, I know, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, so I just wanted to show that briefly. It's kind of anticlimactic now. All right. Fran Hughes says the guy who created it is wrong. Mark Rodriguez says, though brilliant for creating the GIF, the guy was wrong. Choosy mothers choose GIF.
Oh, potato.
You know, it's a thing. It's an American thing.
Next week on the grid.
Hey, next week on the grid, we're getting a freaking
GIF.
American. Can I tell you that right now? We're going to find some American. I'm going to have them show me your freaking birth certificate. That's who's coming on. All right, we got some good things here. Will Taylor says, hey, try that paste function again, but use the edit menu in Photoshop. All right.
Let's do it.
Now, there is actually a paste. If you're going to place something, there's a checkbox in Photoshop that says place and fit. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that? There is actually, if you're placing it. But let's try it again. Here we go. Select all. Here's our image. Select all. Copy. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong one. Hang on. Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't make a sound. Here it is. Select all. Copy. Go here. Go into the edit menu. Choose paste and place. No, doesn't work. Let's try any other paste you want to try. Just regular old paste. Nope, doesn't work. Let's see. Who wrote that?
If you hold Shift key down.
You hold the Shift key down?
Does that work? Or Alt or Option?
Nope.
No.
Option? Nope.
Nope.
No, I don't know of any way that it works. Now, if anybody's got one, I'm all for it. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. John Mayfield says, I also like in Lightroom filter by edited. Well, so wait a minute, John. Wait a minute. There might be a way. John, have you looked in the metadata filter? I'll have to look in a minute. You know what we're going to need to do? Oh, well, John, don't lose that thought. Steven wants to know, did anyone figure out how to change the brush size and hardness on a PC without brackets? Well, I did show that little shortcut. Let's see. All right. Fred from Sydney, which is a wonderful city. Just love Sydney. Says, hi, Scott and David. Great to be finally watching the grid live. Quite a novelty for me. It's got to be early there, right? 7 in the morning, something like that? Early. All right. Robert Norris says, I'd like to be able to pick colors from the color panel.
Yeah.
But the swatch box comes up. So difficult. I'd like to be able to pick colors from the color panel. So you mean?
So if you do, where is it? The dropper. Oh, see, I've got swatches open anyway, so it automatically adds it.
Oh, okay.
On the swatches, if you go around and click and pick, it just adds them to.
Oh, Trevor, this is not right. Trevor says, I'm enjoying this episode of the Drid. Spelling with
the underground
J.
grid.
He's trying to make it a GIF. Look, it's not me. I didn't make it up. Go look at the guy. The guy who did it finally settled it. It's not me.
There is actually, if you Google it, there's a really good sketch. I think it was one of the Comedy Central or someone, and they did a conversation between two people where they're having that argument. So he says all these things where words beginning with G, and he pronounces it J to make it ridiculous. Like, I've just bought a guinea pig. And the guy just sit there like, okay, you've overmade the point.
All right, Ben says, Scott, if the bounding box of an image is larger than the graphic, and for example, a PNG with transparency, the image may import tiny due to the large boundaries. Well, even if it did, it still wouldn't cause you. Okay, so what Ben is saying, you'll have a graphic for the web, the background's background. So let's just say you have like a flower and there's nothing behind it, it's transparent, and you bring that in. The GIF would, why wouldn't the GIF, wait a minute, whoa. Even when you do that, the GIF goes all the way out to the edges of the document. It doesn't suck in towards the GIF. So try that. So Ben, here's the thing. If I were to bring in an image, it's a butterfly, and there's nothing on the layer but a butterfly, but the layer's this big. Yeah. When you go to free transform, it doesn't suck down to that, does it? No. No. It still stays at the size of the document.
And the other thing with a GIF, I will call it GIF now, is who uses GIFs? Unless it's animated, when do you use it?
That's the only time you would use it.
So
but it's a big thing now. It's a thing like animated GIFs, like, on Facebook.
But for a straight image, I'd use PNG. But if you're creating memes. Right. All right. Which some people call memes.
Let's see what else we got. Try that paste. Okay, so Will Taylor says, try that paste function again, but use the edit menu. Will, you saw it. Is there something I'm missing? A key or I'm supposed to hold down or anything? Peter says, I'd like to be able to move an image in the Lightroom library module to a particular collection by right-clicking on the image. Well, Peter, you don't even have to do that. You can just drag and drop it straight into an image. So if you're looking at an image, right, and you want it in a library, just click, drag, and drop it right into the collection that you want. You don't have to have it pop up and do all that junk. It's quicker, just click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Kirsten says, this is unrelated, but there were so many classes of Photoshop World I wanted to take, but I couldn't clone myself to get to them all. I missed Victoria's class. Well, hopefully we'll have Victoria back, and then you can see it then.
And that's what's good about the app as well, is when you go through the app for Photoshop World, you can actually add them to your schedule, so you can schedule your day and jump from lesson to lesson. All right. So Artist First says, Jen, please tell Scott we need the same functionality for Photoshop Smart Objects as we have in Illustrator. When we click to edit something, we can still see the background we work on. That's what you were asking for, right? If that same functionality would be added to it in Photoshop, it would be great. That's exactly what you were asking for. So look, you got support. And if you're using something like Liquify or the perspective tool in Photoshop,
you mean like a vanishing point?
Yeah. You get the onion skin.
You didn't used to. You do now.
You can now. So if it's there, Adobe.
Yeah, that technology is there. Hey, we're going to take a short break. Let me see how much time we have. Like, not much. We're going to take a short break. We got some good giveaways today. We're taking your questions. And any ideas for things that you want to see added? I've got one when we come back that is, I think it would be the single easiest thing that Adobe could ever add or fix inside of Photoshop. Like an engineer would go, I can do that in 4 seconds. And then I will tell you of an Adobe triumph that we had. When we come back with Dave Clayton. Matt.
Well, hi, everybody. Scott Kelby here. I want to tell you about my brand new class. It's called the 7-Point System for Lightroom. So this is a system I actually developed years ago. It was one of my best-selling books called the 7-Point System for Photoshop. But today, Lightroom is our workflow, and I've updated the 7-Point System to how we use Lightroom and how we use this system today with all the latest stuff. You're going to learn exactly what to do, when to do it, and exactly why to do it. The great thing about it is it's just 7 things. Once you know these 7 things, you'll be able to look at every image. You'll be able to know what to do first, what to do next, what to do last. You got finishing moves and the whole 9 yards. Go to kelby1.com. Take the 10-day free trial and watch this class right now. It will change the way you work in Lightroom forever. And you'll find this class exclusively at kelby1.com.
Do you have an InDesign project but you're not really sure how to use InDesign? Well, I'm going to teach you some quick, easy, simple techniques to get you started. We're going to be looking at adding text, images, logos, icons, interactivity, even a QR code. And at the end of this class, you'll have learned some great techniques for your project. I'm Dave Clayton, I'm a Kelby One instructor. Check out my new class on kelby1.com.
Hi, I'm Stella Kramer. I'm a photography consultant and Pulitzer Prize-winning photo editor, and I've spent many years in the photography business. I know what it's like to be on the other side of the camera, for the people who hire photographers and work with photographers, and I want to help you to reach the next level of your career. I want to tell you about how to use social media to make contacts with people, how to get clients, and do all the things necessary in order to advance yourself to the professional career you're looking to have. Please join me and watch my class on kelby1.com.
Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here with the beautiful Dave Clayton from all the way over across the pond in Dover. No?
No.
No. Hey, so it's Wednesday, which is the day before a new class Wednesday, which is important.
Yeah, yeah.
Wednesday's grid day. That's important.
Yeah.
You know what else is important?
Oh, I know what it is.
You do. It's Meredith's birthday. So our director, Meredith, it's her birthday today, and we have special cupcakes for her right here. We have one that is Kentucky bourbon. Ooh. By special request, and we have a carrot cake. Now, there's a place called Small Cake Cupcakes. It's a cupcake bakery, but we have to get Meredith out here because we're all going to sing her happy birthday. So leave the booth, Meredith. I know you don't want to. Just come out. You can just. She says, no, come on, it's your birthday. You have to get it sung right. Everybody at home has to sing along with us. Everybody. I don't care if you're in Australia with your feet with a hot pad.
Come on, it's not every day you're 40 years old.
All right, here she comes. All right. Woo! Hi, Mayor. All right, first, here's our awesome cupcakes.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And you have to stand there and look embarrassed while we sing. Here we go. And Dave Clayton, by the way, never sings, but he promised he would. Here we go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Meredith. Happy birthday to you. You're not supposed to change to the harmony. Yay. All right. Thanks, Mayor. All right, so Mayor's the director and has always been the director of the grid. She works in the control room. She does all the switching. And so when she's not, oh, look, it switched. Who switched it? Oh, Eric's in there. I was like, who just switched the camera angle? So she does, she runs so much stuff in there. So when we did the gallery opening, which we're going to announce the next gallery thing coming up here shortly.
Cool.
Maybe by next week, I imagine. But anyway, so I went in to watch the live broadcast. I'm sitting beside Mayor, and she's running so many things, and she does it with such calm. She does it like it's riding a bicycle. She's like, go to 2, pick up number 2, camera 3, tighten up. She's like saying all these things, and she's working all this stuff, and I was so impressed because I never sit in the control room. I'm always out here, right? Yeah. So it was kind of cool because I wasn't on stage. It was Larry, and Mark, the winner.
She did my 2 classes, and I take my hat off to her.
She's a boss, right?
Yeah.
Well, plus working with you, oh my God.
Listening to me for like 4 hours.
Like 2 days and stuff?
Yeah.
You'd be suicidal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible. Anyway, so, look at all the nice happy birthdays to Meredith. Look, Fernando, Artist One, Ann Robbins, Loopy Bridget, Fran, lots and lots of happy birthdays to Meredith. So, happy birthday, Mayor. And you notice we never do that for Steve. Like Steve's her boss, and Steve has a birthday, and we're like, whatever.
Steve's birthday is on a leap year.
All right, hey Steve, we're gonna go buy another box of macaroni and cheese, but we're not gonna give it to you to your birthday. We're gonna hold and let it rot and fester. so when it's time. All right, I got 2 things. All right, I got a Photoshop thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna have to give me a second to open a document. Of course, and then I got to connect to. I need a document with layers, so that one shouldn't take me too. Oh, the one I just had open was fine. I'm just going to. Oh crud! I flattened the layers. Oh, crud.
Destructive editing.
Oh no, there they are. Oh. They are.
See if that had been a smart object.
Yeah, of course, right.
Yeah.
Smart object. Let it go, Dave. Here we go. All right, let me get back on my seat. I had to walk around there. Okay, I'm back, and are these the most uncomfortable seats you've ever sat in your entire life? Aren't they bad? The seats are uncomfortable. Can we get some cozy, big, cozy seats and all? All right. Okay. Take a look at my image here. Okay. So here's my image. Oh wait, you can't look until video control. I got you. Okay. All right. Here we are. Here we are in Photoshop. You may have heard of this program. All right, so I have all these layers. So a lot of times when I'm done, I want to save this as a JPEG or a GIF or whatever. Now, I'm not going to rename it. You know, it's a PSD. So I'm going to save it as a JPEG, put on my blog.
Yep.
Put it on. All right, so I go to flatten, right here, flatten. Now, there is no keyboard shortcut for flatten. I don't care. You can assign a keyboard shortcut if you want, but I don't. But here's what I want. This is going to be the easiest thing that Adobe will ever do in the history of fixing things. It asked me this thing, discard hidden layers. It asked me this every single time. There are 100 dialog boxes in Photoshop that have a checkbox that says, don't show again.
Well, what are they going to do with them otherwise?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Nope. I want to flatten it, but I want to keep the hidden layers so I can only save as no. If there is never ever for me personally a single time where I want to keep the hidden layers. I'm flattening it so I can save it and put it on the web. Just give me a checkbox right here that says don't show this thing again. I never will ever. I can't imagine hitting cancel. That's just me. I know that there's people that need this. Yeah. So I'm not saying Adobe take this out of Photoshop. I'm just saying there are so many dialog boxes that just say literally don't show again.
Yeah.
Please, Adobe, I'm begging you. It'll give me a chunk of my life back that I spend going flatten. Flatten. Yes. Get rid of the hidden layers. Yeah. Every single time for my entire life. You know how long I've been using Photoshop? 6 months. So for 6 months, every time I do it. But no, it's literally been a few years, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So that would be one that if Adobe would do that, I would be just the happiest clam in the clam place.
I've got a tip and a query. So my tip, I meant to say this earlier, and I learned this from Jesus Ramirez, and he said, if you create a document with layers, and quite often you want to go back and use that again for something else. The danger is you open it, you start working, and you accidentally hit save.
Right, because that's like a habit of ours, right?
So when you save it, and you go to save it as a PSD, just add the letter T at the end, and it saves it as a template. Then when you open that file, it automatically opens up as an unnamed document, so you have to save it as something else.
What?
I know.
Show me how you do it. So, all right, I got to see. I've never heard this.
Yeah. So if I go...
I'm new to Photoshop, so that's okay.
Am I connected? Let's go in Control Room 1.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's like a pro now.
Yeah. Okay,
he's a pronoun.
So let's say I'm going to use this again. I've got hipster guy here, and I want to use that for another campaign, but that's my Photoshop file.
Right, you want to make a template.
So, yeah, so if I save it as a PSD, put it on my desktop.
Where's the T go?
I'd put hipster guy. I'd save that and I'd reopen it again, but the danger is
you could overwrite
I could overwrite it. So if I put a T
at the
here,
end of there, PSDT,
and then hit save. Okay. Now the next time I go and open that, we'll do open. Go to my desktop and let me find it. So,
well, it's already open.
Close that. File. Open. So it's called that. Untitled. So now I have to save it as something else.
Oh my goodness!
So the original
you are like a boss.
Oh, this is Jesus Ramirez. Full credit. He told me this at Photoshop World, and I was.
How many things do we learn at Photoshop World in between classes where people are just chatting? You know,
people just do that. Oh, did you know? And you go, yeah, sure, of course I knew.
Oh, that's what
absolutely knew.
Tell me again, and I'll act like I knew it.
Yeah. So you put a T on the end of the PSD, and it
makes a template, right?
Yeah.
Then you open it, it says untitled.
Yeah.
Of course. Who doesn't know that?
It's been in that since like Photoshop 1.
Who doesn't know that?
Yeah. So my other thing, and this is just a personal preference, is it goes back to the thing of InDesign, Illustrator, and Photoshop. Kind of, I wish they all did the same thing the same way. So if I'm adding type onto a Photoshop document, and I highlight the text, I come up here, I've got to do the little scrubby slider.
Right, scrubby sliders, which are nice.
Click that, and I can choose that. And I know there's a shortcut for the keyboard, like up and down.
Right.
But if I come over into InDesign, and I want to change this, I've got these little arrows here, and I can go.
Oh yeah, up, down a little. Yeah. That's nice when you want to move it just a little or something.
And I like that because I use InDesign and Illustrator quite a lot.
That's not in Photoshop.
But there's no scrubby slider either. So like, either have the option of scrubby and click up and down. Yeah.
Both of them should have scrubby sliders. Both of them should have the up, down arrow.
Or give them all the same.
Yeah. How about that? Hey, look. Holy moly. Deb Usilka says, holy moly, that's a sweet tip. Marcus says, awesome tip, Dave, the PSDT thing. And then Renata says, that is brilliant. Come on. Hey, Mark Rodriguez asks, why are there still filters that have the tiny preview window? I want to see the effect on more of the image than just the small preview window. Yeah, Mark, you know, the one that was the worst about this was lighting effects. Lighting effects had a window this big and a preview this small. But, you know, they redid lighting effects, so now it does it right on the image and you see everything happen. I think that's got to be the evolution of filters. I'm waiting for it to get here because they've done that. But, you know what I mean? It's like if you do lighting effects now, it used to be a window. Now the lighting effect applies directly to the image and you move it. It's like it's kind of like applying, what's the other filter that does that? There's a couple of filters that allow you to apply the change directly to the image. Is it the blur filters like tilt shift? They don't open a window. You apply it right to the thing. So that I think that's the future of these filters. But in the meantime, I agree. Bigger, you know, previews would make a big difference. Look at that. Alan Hess. Yay, Alan. Alan says, that tip changed my workflow. I'm stunned. I don't even know what to say because I have so many templates. And you know what, Dave? Over the years, I've lost templates because I'm in the habit of hitting Command S just on a regular basis to save my work, even though I know I don't really have to anymore because Photoshop does but I save everything like that way. Oh, my gosh.
If you could put them templates in the new document window when you do File New, that would be even better.
Oh, can I give you my File New tip? I got one for File New. Here we go. Watch. Oh, so I'm creating a new document. Oh, well, it's actually, is it here? It's here now. All right, for years, here's my tip. It's actually there now in this new window. So what it was I would type, all right, I want an 8 by 10. But if you wanted a 10 by 8 instead, like, I don't know if you noticed, but like the photo presets, like for landscape or whatever, like it's a 4 by 6, but it comes in 6 wide by 4 tall. If you wanted it the other way, there was no way to switch it. But now, look, there is. There's an icon. That's new. That icon that lets you switch the other way. Dave looks like he's up to something over there in Dave land. All right. So, hey, while you're doing that, Fernando says, Dave, I just thought you were that funny character in Glenn's book. Now, you got my respect with that tip.
Yeah, I've been a funny character before.
All right, Svetlana says, I want the adjustment brush in ACR, and so that's Adobe Camera Raw, to have HSL sliders for individual colors, not just a global saturation or vibrance. Yes, that would be nice. I'm with you, Svetlana, on that one. But you're just saying that because you won stuff. Svetlana won stuff today. All right, John, hey, we're like running out of time here. John Mayfield says standardization across apps is something Adobe really has to work on. You know, it's weird because some things are so the same, and then some things are just like missing. Just like you said, why does one, like InDesign, a guy at Photoshop World was complaining to me why InDesign doesn't have Scrubby. And I thought they did. I go, oh, come on, they have Scrubby. I open it up. Son of a gun, they don't.
Yeah, and I was told it's because there's 3 completely different teams working independently. Right, it's the same suite, but
they have like one big conference a year, the sales conference for Adobe. They all should get together in a room and go, hey, let's pick 10 things that are weird and let's fix them. Let's just fix them.
And then 9 of them will go, you're not having my code.
All right, so our artist first says, I would like all the filters to have a preview window like the radial blur. Let's go look at the radial blurs.
Oh, is that the one that shows you like the lines, but it doesn't show you the image?
Let me see. I don't remember. I don't use the radial blur a whole lot, but let's go see. It's still a great filter. Blur gallery, I guess it's just under blur, radial blur.
And just to say as well, this isn't.
Wait a minute, can it be this one? That's not the one. It must not be the radial blur. It must be in the blur gallery. So the blur gallery, the spin blur, they put it right on screen like that. So this is to make car wheels spin and stuff like that. Yeah. But see how it puts it right on screen? There's not like a window that pops up that's between you and your image. That's the way I think all filters should be. But very few of them are like that. If you go look at the Gaussian blur, it's Gaussian, by the way. It's not Gaussian, Mr. G.
It's Gaussian.
But it's still pretty much the same exact window as Lightroom 1.0. I mean, Photoshop 1.0. 30 years ago, there's no way to make this dialog box better. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh. You can't see my computer. I'm on. I can see it's on.
Shall I come out of mine?
I'll just disconnect it and reconnect it, but it says it's on. That was weird. Hang on.
I've come out of mine.
I don't know how long it's been gone, so I don't know how far back I have to go in my timeline here. I have what's called a spinning beach ball. Hey, the PSDT thing, Vic Kumar says, mind blown. And it has a appropriate emoticon, I think. Very, very appropriate. Do you see it now? Well, that's just odd. All right, I'm going to quit Photoshop, quitty, Photoshoppy, and restarty Photoshoppy, and we'll see what happens. Please hold, holding. I'm restarting, because that's what I do. I restart stuff. Yes, I do.
I was going to say, just to say as well, this isn't the kind of Adobe can't do that. This is Adobe's brilliant. The software suite's brilliant. It's just these tiny little extra things that would just...
Well, you know what it is, too? Can I tell you what? This is just my own... Okay, there it is. It's my own opinion. I don't have anything to back this up at all. But I would say this. Let's pretend that you are an Adobe engineer.
Yeah.
How much love and excitement, and how many times do people stop you in the hall and congratulate you for adding a checkbox that says...
Never.
Don't show again.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
But if you create something amazing, if you create a healing brush, if you create vanishing point, if you add how about dehaze?
Yeah.
You do one of those things, literally, people are stopping you all going, dude, that dehaze thing, oh my God, that rocks. That's amazing. That's incredible. But it's not sexy to do the stuff like add a checkbox.
Yeah.
But those are things that impact our life every single day. Can I tell you something? Vanishing point, amazing. It impacts my life zero. Like, I don't use every once in a while. I don't want to say that. Once a year, I use vanishing point. And every time I use it, I think, wow, this thing works really well. But flattening a layer, I do every single day. So I would love for Adobe to do those things that impact our lives daily. And now I will say this. I'm sounding like I'm whining. They actually do. They've gone back and made so many things. They have changed so many things. So they have done quite a lot of them. Hey, I will show you now that we got this working. If I think we have it working. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you. I just have spinning beach ball. I'm just going to restart altogether. Forget it.
Shall I do that InDesign tip I showed you earlier? The text thing.
Oh.
Even though it's not Photoshop, it's...
Yeah, no, he's got a great tip for InDesign. This is awesome, you know.
Yep, okay.
Oh, look at this. Vic says, why isn't the healing the same in Lightroom as is in Photoshop? The Lightroom version blows. Okay, Vic, will you just take that and make that the tweet of the week? So we actually had Josh on the grid. Josh Haftel on the Lightroom, and people were writing in to say how much that the Lightroom version blows, and that was exact words and worse. And he was like, "Really? You don't like the version in Lightroom?" We're like, "Dude, it's horrible. It's like it's called the spot removal tool. It is not a healing brush. That's the thing. It will remove individual spots. The healing brush in Photoshop is light years ahead of it. Tremendously better. Forget the one in, it's just terrible. Forget the one in whatever. And this should only take me 45 minutes to an hour to get running again.
Okay, shall I do that?
Do that thing, because
I'm on
this
one,
is a tip
Meredith.
he told me about while we were waiting for a class at Photoshop World. And I'm like, are you crapping me? I've been using InDesign for years, never knew it. Go ahead and show this tip. It's super good.
For the InDesign users, if you're typing text in a box, what usually happens is this. The text goes and you get a little red box down here. That means you've got overflow text or you need to expand the text box. So you normally come over here and you drag this down, and then you go and add some more text and you have to drag it down again. I'm going to show you a tip that is the best thing I've learned that I've taught.
It is.
Come up to Object and choose Text Frame Options and go to Auto Size. And change it to height only. Make sure this tells you that the text is going to sit at the top of the text box every time. And then click OK. And now, if I click back in there and I carry on typing, it didn't work. Didn't select the box. Hold on. That was rubbish.
That was rubbish, Dave.
Rubbish. Hang on, let's do it again quickly.
Can I tell you something? R to the ubbish.
Let's do that again. Auto size, height only. Okay.
We've got to go, Dave.
Sorry.
Please make this last forever. Hey, look, it's Jessica Maldonado.
Oh, forget that.
It's the greatest designer. You're stressed out because Jess is here.
Yeah.
That's like doing street photography and Jay Maisel walks in the room.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just like fold up. You just like, I'm done. But see, I feel bad. I can smile at Jess. You know why? Because I'm not designing. Hi, Jess. How are you? See, no problem. I feel no stress. If I started to design anything, I would just freeze. She'd just like, is she still looking? All right, Dave, this is the best demo you've ever. No, this is brilliant.
Why is this not working? It's Jess has walked in the room.
It is.
Kirsty.
You know what it is? Your computer senses fear.
Yeah.
And it knows, you know.
I'll stick it on Twitter or Facebook and
stick it somewhere.
Yeah,
definitely stick it somewhere, Dave.
Forget that one.
We were going to have to roll here, but I got to go through how to win prizes because we have a lot of prizes today. Our prizes are courtesy of our friends at Lens Pro To Go, which is the most awesome place to go and rent gear. So I rent from them myself, and they are just incredible. So if there's a lens or a body or lights or anything that you need, we're going to give away 2 $50 gift certificates just for folks in the U.S. So that's for you. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can win badass Photoshop effects, right? How to create badass photo from Corey Barker, the amazing Barker. We're going to give away a copy of Photograph Like a Thief, the brand new book. They just had it at Photoshop World. Just the first print copies were there, and we're going to send you one. That's from Glenn Dewis, an awesome guy.
Best design cover.
Also, what else we're giving away? None of these boxes, these are for Kathy Bateson. There was something else.
Astute Graphics.
We have Astute Graphics is offering one of their plugins. Is this for at their site there?
In fact, we're going to give away the draw bundle.
We're going to give away the draw bundle.
So if you go into the shop and look at the bundles, there's a draw bundle. You get 4 or 5 apps in there.
Yeah, go to the shop, go to the, and we're going to give away. There it is.
There you go.
That one we're giving away.
Yep.
Very nice, Dave. You must know people.
I do.
All right. And was there something else? Oh yeah, ticket to either my Minneapolis or my Indianapolis seminars next month. It's a one-day seminar. It's $99. You can get a free ticket by telling us, go to kelby1.com/contest. So kelby1.com/contest. Give us your name and all the information that we need so we know who you are. Choose the grid. And there in the comments, tell us which one you want to win. So we send you the right stuff. Either Glenn's book, the Lens Pro To Go cards, Badass Effects book, the plugins for Illustrator, tickets to Minneapolis or Indy, whatever it is, pick your one. We'll choose the winners and we contact you directly. Well, it's just about time to go. Loopy Bridget says Photoshop World next year will be bigger and better. Yes, it will. We've got some amazing stuff planned. Now I know to expect and can plan accordingly. And she has an appropriate emoticon that looks scary. Let's see. Johan says, in Photoshop, everything is pretty smooth except surface blur that still takes minutes. Irritates the heck out of me. You are not alone, Johan. I think that's probably the slowest filter in all of Photoshop. And that's about pretty much. Gord Taylor says, or it's Jord Taylor with a J. Jord Taylor says, learning every day. Thanks, Guy. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Dave Clayton, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Love having you. And thanks to Jen, of course, for being Jen. Just being Jen. Happy birthday to Meredith. Nothing to you, Steve. And we thank you all. Hope to see you guys next week right here on the grid. Take care, everybody. Bye, everybody.